Welcome to the first episode of what we're calling the Concast. I guess really what this is just a place where we'd like to sit down and I guess watch maybe a recent or an old video. I guess it'll depend on the week. And just basically have a discussion about it while we watch it. And I guess the reason why we're doing this is just to try and generate more conversation in and around our community and our sport.
Yeah. Before we get into it, I guess everything we talk about will be pretty opinionated. So feel free to have a discussion with us about that. Let us know what you think. Totally feel free to disagree. We're just looking to start conversation and discussion about movement and kind of explore a little bit, I guess, about why we like or don't like, or what could change or what we could use to influence our own movement. Cool. Today, the video that we're going through is Restored Joy by Keelan Ryan of the Modus Projects. So that's, I guess, let's get going.
Yeah, let's watch the video. How do you feel about layering stuff like is happening here at the beginning? In videos.
I'm glad it's only at the beginning. That would really annoy me if it was actually over top of the content I was trying to watch, actually watching the parkour or the movement.
Yeah.
For an intro or something like that, cool. That's fine. It's a little extra work that I don't think gets any value from me. But whatever.
I think a lot of people appreciate the aesthetic of it.
Mm-hmm. This is straight up probably one of my favorite lines in the whole video. Is the first one. It's he does that little pop up step vault. And he just keeps spinning as he moves. The whole time is just circling towards this cork. And then he spins out of it. But the whole video is turning, or the whole line is turning.
Yeah, it's a continuous circular motion.
Yeah, he conserves all his momentum the whole time too. He doesn't abruptly change anything. He does a couple of those in this video too, that step vault backwards, step vault forwards, just spin around walls.
Yeah.
That thing, yeah. So he step vaults backwards and then forwards right through. That's a really cool filler move without actually changing direction or anything.
It's just oh, here's a wall, I have to do something, and if you don't want to put a higher risk or a higher difficulty trick in, it's very good.
I guess it changes you from moving backwards to moving forwards really smoothly.
Yeah. That 360 is really nice.
So good. So he does the pop-up, and then he step vaults 360, step vaults same side again.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And he, doesn't hit any of the plants in the bush. But that's a really, really good combo. Really smooth. Look at that climb-up technique.
I was expecting him to put his hands on the wall, and I don't know why.
I was also expecting that too. I don't know, whenever I see like a tack where you're straight up going 180 degrees from where you came from, I always expect hands on the wall and a two-step tack.
Yeah.
Just because you get way more height and float from that. I mean, he doesn't need it, so that makes sense
it's
why.
Fine. Yeah, it's fine.
But it totally gives you I don't know, it makes you think about what you've seen a lot of already, and maybe what you've been conditioned to expect in a line,
and even maybe what you would normally do.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's do you think it's unnecessarily complex to do the two steps on the wall and hands on the wall? For here, he definitely doesn't need it.
Yeah.
It's just a one step little wall, he's back.
Well, it would depend too on what you need, because here if you're trying to do something that's higher difficulty out of this line, maybe you do want more height on that first jump so that you're coming down on that wall a little bit more.
Whereas he's just trying to go outwards from
He was just doing a step vault.
That makes sense. I like that stick.
I really appreciate this video in the sense that I don't know how long ago it was that Keelan was injured, but the stuff that he's doing right now coming off of that injury versus what he was doing before is very different. Mm-hmm. And I can see the style developing and how it's changing.
Mm-hmm. It also you get the illusion from watching a move that it is very much dialed down skill. He's still moving with a ton of skill, but he's doing simpler things.
Yeah.
But when you watch him do simple things, you're not thinking that's a simple athlete. You're that's a really good athlete doing clean, easier movements.
This whole video is just a master class.
Also, shout out to the random kid in the background taking a selfie. He's Snapchatting. Oh, good Websters. I love watching a good Webster. He's just so much like float, and he just like walks out of it. It's chill.
It's like
I love it.
It's like dessert at the end of a meal.
It's like dessert at the end of a meal. Yeah, he's wearing a belt.
That would bother me.
That would bother me.
And that reverse into the step vault, like
Yeah.
especially over
a gap like that, that shows like it's so much control in his like his placement, his power. Like
yeah.
it's so that's like much tougher, I guess, than just like over a flat box having that gap in the middle.
It really like you could have anybody try it on a flat box, but if like to do it on the gap just shows that like
A ton of control.
yeah. The connections in this line, I think, like this might be the line in this video with the best connections out of any of them.
I think that first line still had the best connections.
Fair.
But I think this one does have really good connections. I really like how that first like little cache over the rail, right here where he puts his foot down for the step, he doesn't like stop the rate at which he's descending from the cache. Like it's just another movement in that like that going downwards motion, I guess. The two vaults flow like seamlessly together.
Yeah, he's not slowing down or speeding up. It's just consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It's very pleasing to look at because of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that shoulder shrug on the last side flip is like...
Yeah, he has really, really good posture for that side flip to like shoot up. And he even has time in the air to like stick his legs out towards the ground and actually like reach for it.
Yeah.
And then pop out of it. Also, the dude in like the little black coat right next to him is just like, damn! What the heck?
Same thing too with that last connection on that side flip.
So this is the only time in this video that this happens. So I'm gonna forgive you for this. But there are other videos where I see this non-stop in clips. I hate
it falls off after.
when you do a flip and your hat falls off. This is Jordan's bullshit of the week. If you're gonna wear a hat while training and you're filming a video and like every single line you do, your hat flies off and then it's back on in the next clip, only for it to like fly off mid-line again. Why bother wearing a hat? Like, why are you wearing a hat? Why bother? You're not even wearing it half the time. You're just picking it up off the ground all day. Like, if you're gonna wear a hat, just get like a little strap around your chin. Like, you don't look good in a bucket hat anyway. Just embrace it and put the strap on your chin. That's my bullshit of the week.
I have a bucket hat.
Do you wear the strap under your chin? Yeah, but you have a fro on your head. Like, you're gonna look silly anyway.
I wore a bucket hat like every day training last summer.
Yeah, see? And that's like, I guess, part of your character. That's...
Well, the jury's still out on that one.
But I'm pretty sure this is the only time he loses his hat, because he's usually not wearing a hat.
Yeah.
I like the progressions of this line, where he's working up to like going over top of that to land the surfer pre.
Yeah.
I mean, one progression, I guess. He attempted it once with stride to the pillar, but
in the video
it
anyway,
after.
he probably
Yeah.
did it lots of times.
That's what we like to tell ourselves too. Look at the way his arm sticks out on this roll.
I actually like noticed that a little bit before, but like, it's kind of odd.
Yeah,
but it makes sense.
I don't know, because like to me, I would think that hand is not doing anything to like cushion that impact. Whereas like you could be, if I was rolling over that, I probably would have both down to like actually lower my shoulder to the ground, so I'm not just like smashing it into concrete.
I think in this situation, where is the other angle after? Yeah. So right here, he has the one hand.
Yeah, he's
down.
absorbing it, and he's also not like dive rolling onto it.
And that, I guess that's what I was gonna say, is oftentimes like if you put both hands right in front, you have to be coming at an angle which is like very steep. Otherwise, your arm just gets in the way. And I think that's what he's trying to do here, is just get his arm out of the way and get his shoulder down.
I feel like having your arm out here would limit the amount of like horizontal you could roll with that.
Well, he's rolling out anyway, so.
Yeah. That's an interesting like little thing. And it's probably wholly unnecessary to like actually grab it.
Yeah.
I guess it just looks weird because it's unusual. Like it, in and of itself, it's abnormal. and thus it stands out without actually being like
Yeah.
stand out technically.
Man, the first time we watched this line, we didn't actually even talk about it, but this line is very nice. Like just the way he comes out of his gate vault and just immediately steps.
Yeah, he doesn't take an extra step or anything.
Into that backward step vault.
I feel like that's the fastest way to like lose connections in a line is taking extra steps. Whether or not it's stutter stepping or like overdoing something where you have to like back up and like kind of it's almost a reset. You're essentially hard resetting in the middle of your line.
Yeah.
To like finish your previous move, stop, and start your next move.
Yeah.
Whereas like he lands it and he kind of just absorbs in his knees and then he's immediately going again. And I think that's probably the best way to maintain like connectivity and fluidity in a line is not taking the extra steps.
And I think that's something too that like especially younger athletes like you can definitely tell because instead of being patient with their landings, they'll think that they have to start moving right away and then they'll end up stutter stepping.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the precision that he lands here. There's a rail right next to him here. I want to see him left foot stride on that rail and over the wall and precision down there. I want to see that just because I feel like that would be fun to do. So there's an idea for free.
A free idea.
I guarantee he's already
You
tried
don't
it.
have to pay him for it. But if you'd like to.
Don't. This is a good line. Like, or it's not a good line, I guess. It's not a line. It's just a Kong Pre, which I find, I don't know, it's interesting to see in a video because usually when you see just like a solo move, like you would expect him to be sticking the Pre or something along those lines. And I don't know, maybe the gap is like far bigger or something than camera lets on. It usually is.
It's a very aesthetic Kong Pre though. It looks very nice. And
it's true.
And the step vault at the end too.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I guess, accentuates that.
Mm-hmm. I don't like these types of lines.
This one?
Yeah. I don't find them good to watch.
I think because of the way that the bars are spaced, it feels like it's stutter steppy even though it isn't.
I think it's too much like up and down. Like it's very like I'm landing, hop over the bar, land, hop over the bar, hop, hop, hop. Like it's just hopping, which is fine. Whatever. That sounds like a great warm up, but I don't know. It doesn't feel smooth because to me it feels like your momentum is very like jagged. It's very up and down as opposed to like a nice line, which would be.
Yeah, even with even like compared to the rest of the clips in the video, like this one's like stands out as an outlier in a way.
Yes, I think it's also like straight up that's just the spot.
Yeah,
like rails that close together. What else? Like
what else are you gonna
do? Yeah, I like this line. So Ruben, you mentioned when we watched this the first time that you thought the line was being played backwards at first, and like that's so true. Like here, like this easily could be going like forwards or backwards. Like most of the motion in this line could go either way. This part could be switched around. This part could be switched around. Like, yeah, it would be very easy to be hitting that from either direction.
You've heard of palindrome words. Now get ready for
palindrome lines. Yeah, that's a thing.
The palindrome challenge.
That was. Do you remember Cali Duels?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I believe Luke Albrecht and Eric Wolf did a Cali duel where they both had to do their lines, but then at the end they had to like do them backwards again. They did a palindrome line duel. I remember that. That was cool.
I'm gonna have to go and find that if it is still around.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was the end.
That was the end. That was a good video. That was very nice, very chill. I loved how the focus was like just movement. I feel like coming off an injury, it would be very easy to do like vlog style videos. And I really appreciated that it was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do like an actual training video, even if my training is slightly different.
I think he does vlog style videos on his own channel.
That's true. Yeah, he 100% does.
But I really appreciated the, I guess, contrast of like his older videos and now this, where like he's like starting to get back to like his full strength, it seems like, and I guess developing that new style in a way.
Did he hurt both his ankles?
I think he did. I think one was worse than the other, but I think like both of them. But I don't know. I'm not him, so
it'd be like that.
Yeah. Now we've got to listen. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you. Keelan, I thought that one line was backwards. Which line? He's not gonna know what you're talking about.
I thought that line at 3:30 was backwards.
There you go. So that was a video from Modus Projects. We just saw earlier today that their new clothing line went up too, so check that out.
If you haven't seen the collection or the lookbook or whatever the photos are, go take a look at least.
Buy one, support our community. Thanks for, sticking around and checking this out. Hopefully we kind of brought up some points that made you think about your movement or think about how you watch other people's movement. Even if you're thinking about it and disagree with what we said, that's cool. I think our goal here is just to make people start talking about movement more. And I hope that inspires some conversations and people learn what they like or don't like or what they could change or work with it.
Especially, I guess just pointing out some things that inspired this was Brandon Douglas's Height Drop podcast.
Yeah.
And Marlon, I forget his last name, but he does the Witness That series. Witness This.
Yeah.
The team has witnessed that.
Whoa. I didn't know that.
The team has witnessed that. The show is called Witness This, and he just does kind of a weekly, here's some videos that you should check out. And I thought that was really neat. So
cool. We'll link that in the description because you guys should check that out too.
Yeah. Always support the community. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.